Okay, this might be embarrassing, but I had over 100 people ask me to wear this because someone sent me a kilt. Yes, someone sent me a kilt. So there it is. It's made by Mountain Hardware. Yeah, and it's pleated in the back, and I would never wear this in public. And for some reason, I got a breeze going on here. Not really. Not really so. Actually, the main reason, actually really the only reason, well, two reasons I'm wearing a kilt in this video. That's because a lot of people dared me to wear it, said, wear it. And the other reason is other people said that they'd make a small donation if I wore a kilt in my video. God, if this kilt were like an inch shorter, this would be like an X-rated video. Someone's spitting out their Cheerios right now. One thing, yeah, let's get serious now. Serious mode. One thing I actually get a lot of questions on is defining a suck lens, or a crummy lens, or a lens I'd definitely not recommend. And the flack I always get is basically always the same. Like, oh, I got that lens, and look at this image. It's just awesome. Look, it's like, yeah, it is. And it's obviously whatever you want is the correct lens. I mean, it's your art, however you choose to express yourself. If like a painter wanted to use a brush that is made with like the tail feathers of hummingbirds, I mean, and that's expressed as art, you know, whatever you want to use. The reason I would define a lens as suck is A, there's a ton of choices out there. B, settling for okay. You know, there's a lot of okay food out there that'll keep you alive. It's like you could survive on, remember that, what's that crap, dog food in a can? It's like ravioli when you like opened it up, it's like, just like dog food. It's like, yeah, it's okay, it'll keep you alive. There's a lot of lenses out there that are perfectly fine. Here's one example, and there's countless examples of it. Well, there's two examples, like the 80-400 Nikkor. Two versions of that lens, they both suck. I heard the latest one's been discontinued. The 24-120, the newest one, the f4 Nikkor. Now those are sexy looking lenses, and they'll make perfectly acceptable images. Good and acceptable. That's not good enough though. You know, there's a lot of lenses out there, and there's a lot of different things you could spend your money on. And spending it on an acceptable or a good lens, well, it's perfectly good. Look at this image. That's not the point. One prime example, the 24-120, the f4, for example. Now, if that lens were a 35 to 100 millimeter, it's perfectly fine. It's bad at both ends. It's a really sexy looking lens. For the money, the point is you could do a lot better. There's a lot better options, both in primes or zooms, for that coverage. The 80-400, that is just a crappy old design lens. The 200-500 is far superior. I know 200-500 doesn't cover 80 millimeters. It's just a far superior lens. I mean, you get a lot more for your money. When I say something's crap, it doesn't mean it can't make good and acceptable images. I mean, this is not, and I lived in Soviet Russia for quite a long time, by the way. This isn't Soviet Russia where you've got two choices. You know how like you go in the grocery store and there's like 40 different types of olive oil? And basically, you know, other than a few really expensive ones, they're all basically the same price. It's like, well, yeah, why if, you know, why not something that's not only far better but cheaper? There are countless examples of lenses that are infinitely cheaper and far superior. Outside of myself, for objective reasons, despising Sigma lenses, is that, you know, if they were like cheap lenses, like, okay, this is like a cheap alternative for if you can't afford a really good Nikkor. It's like, okay, whatever. They're unreliable and autofocus, are not built that well. But they're not even cheap. They cost, in most instances, more than the equivalent Nikkor and more than a Zeiss lens. And I know a Zeiss lens is a manual focus lens, but I mean, who the hell would pay more for a far superior lens, both in optics, output, and build quality? Well, it's an art. You know, that's just a prime example. So when I say a lens sucks, that doesn't mean it can't make acceptable or very good images. I mean, also, too, what's the basis of comparison? You know, I'm not selling any lenses. I mean, whatever you buy or whatever you want is your prerogative. Obviously so. Nobody's sponsoring me to, you know, pimp one lens over another. And nobody's making any damn money off of used lenses. I mean, the people selling them are, but I'm not selling them. This is what I mean about a sucky lens. You got better choices. You can usually get it for a superior optical output. It's like, what do you want to use it for, and what exactly do you want? Like I said, ultimately your choice is your choice. But if someone asks me, I say, yeah, I don't buy that damn lens. Well, why? Because it sucks compared to this lens, which is not only cheaper, but better and made better, on and on and on. Ultimately, the choice is yours. The point is to always make an educated purchase so your money is being used wisely. Wouldn't that be the most helpful prerogative? So we'll say, oh, you just have an unnatural hatred for Sigma. No, I have an unnatural hatred for crap. And Nikon makes crap lenses, some of them. Sigma makes a lot of crap. This is the reason why I don't talk about Samyang, Rikinen, some of these rebranded companies. Like Saturn was not really Saturn. Saturn was created to escape the image of American-made crap cars. Wasn't Saturn Car Company owned by General Motors or Chrysler? That's who the people. Those are the people that thought, we've got a bad image because we make American-made crap cars. So we're going to come up with a new car company. We're going to call it Saturn. What is this rebranded lens? What is it? Not the Seven Artisans, no, the Chinese, poorly, no. It's a new lens line. Anyway, it's rebranded from Samyang. I can't think of the name of it off my top of my head. Someone's going to tell me what it is because I'm thinking of 1,000 things at once. I never discuss those lenses. Why should I? There's a lot of really great cheap M42 lenses out there, Zeiss lenses, adaptable lenses for mirrorless cameras. Why? Well, say, well, you're biased. You're right, I am biased against crap. I prefer to choose my money, spend the money wisely. Yesterday, I got a Voigtlander lens for $38. Oh my God. It looks optically perfect. I don't have it yet. $38. Hunt and peck, you could find a deal. That's a really good deal. But no. But don't get upset at me because, the lens that you like, I say that it sucks. I think I got a reason for saying it sucks. I mean, how many lenses have you tested? This is no offense against you or anything, but my point is you ask me, it's like, I don't like that lens. I never recommend it. Why? I like it. My buddy's got one. He thinks it's great. Look at this image. It's like, well, all of those are valid points, but compared to what? Okay, it's great. Compared to what? If there's only 3 or 4 lenses with that field of view coverage, then yeah, I guess that's a great lens. But no, there's a lot of options out there, and in the scheme of price, build quality, and output, vignetting, chromatic aberration, micro contrast, bokeh, on and on and on. It's a sucky lens, and that's why I've called it a sucky lens. I just don't arbitrarily say that. I'm sure a lot of people think I do, and some people tell me that that's what I do, but, what's my motive? Maybe if I were selling those things, I would have a hidden agenda. But I'm not selling any of those things, and I'm not sponsored by any of those lens companies. Of course I'm not sponsoring anything. Anybody sponsor a guy wearing a kilt? I hope I get those donations people promised me. It says, if you wear the kilt, Utsman, I'm going to make a donation. Well, I'm wearing the kilt. Let's see if I actually get a donation. Yeah, right. Baby needs to buy a steak. Steaks are expensive. I'm a cheapskate. If I wasn't a cheapskate, I wouldn't have been like trolling eBay looking for really, really, really cheap lenses. The last lens I bought was $38. Yeah, but it's a Voigtlander. That's pretty cheap. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you like these videos, you always click the link below. Donate a $1 or $2 or join Patreon and pledge $1 or something. I'm very helpful. Believe it or not. Yeah. I'm going to keep my legs together when I stand up wearing this kilt. No, I'm not. Well, yeah, I am, actually. Thank you.